So we're making sweet and sour chicken today. And the recipe that I have is a higher calorie recipe. I wanted to see if I could make it a lower calorie recipe, but also make it taste good. But before we do that, I actually need to go to the store and get some ingredients. So let's go do that first. Okay, so I have a question. Maybe somebody out there can answer me, but I have a smaller pouch of jasmine rice, and then I have the bigger pouch of the same jasmine rice. But this one says it's 250 calories per cup, and this one says it's 230 calories per cup, but it's the same thing. So is it 250 calories per cup of jasmine rice, or is it 230 calories per cup of jasmine rice? Just because this is a bigger package, 1 cup is 1 cup. Well, that says 1 pouch. Well, maybe I just answered my own question. 1 pouch is 240 grams. 1 cup is 140 grams. Okay, that answers my question. Never mind. So we have all of our ingredients now, so I'm going to just roll up my sleeves and get right to it. Okay, for the sauce, it calls for 3/4 of a cup of sugar, but I am going to use stevia to lessen the calories. So 3/4 of a cup. That's probably, hopefully, about right. A 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, and you can use white vinegar as well if you don't like apple cider. But there's a 1/2 cup. And then it says 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. There's 1. And there's 2. Alright, so the recipe calls for a teaspoon of garlic powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of onion salt, but I only have garlic salt and onion powder, so that's what we're going to go with. One-quarter cup of ketchup. And here's another way I am saving calories, is I have the no sugar added ketchup. So we're looking at 10 calories for 16 grams, which is 1 tablespoon, apparently. And this recipe calls for 1/4 cup, so. Oh, we're over that, so 16, I'm gonna 70 grams. So I'll figure the math out. I'll let you know and put it on the screen because I am not good at math. But 70 grams of ketchup, which is 1/4 cup. So we're gonna add this to a saucepan. I should have probably put it in the saucepan instead of the bowl. We're supposed to whisk this together, which you can tell the stevia is not blending very well, but once it heats up, it'll be fine. And so I'm going to put this on medium heat, and we're going to mix together like the roux for this. Alright, since we already dirtied the bowl, we're going to use this bowl, and we need the cornstarch and some water. So 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And then we add 2 tablespoons of cold water. I don't have a smaller whisk, so this is what we got. We're supposed to mix this together until it's all dissolved, and then add this to the boiling sauce. So we'll set that aside until our sauce comes to a boil. I guess we should have done this first, but we're going to cut the chicken up. Alright, so for this recipe, it calls for 3 to 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, pounded to 1/2 inch thickness and chopped into 1-inch pieces. We're going to do, I don't know how much chicken breasts are, so I'm assuming, so we'll just do all of it. Okay, I've got all of my chicken chopped up. Now what I need to do is chop up my onion and my peppers. Okay, I'm not doing half as much as it calls for because I'm not an onion girl. All right, now it says to add 1/3 cup of cornstarch into a bag. So we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna have to pour it in and hope that I don't make too big of a mess. Nope, that's not gonna work. There you go, Kelly. All right, well, we made a mess, but that's okay, it's cleanable. 1/3 cup of cornstarch, and then we're supposed to add the chicken into the cornstarch bag. Get in there. Close it really good and then coat the chicken with the cornstarch. We have our sauce over here that is boiling, and we're about ready to put in the roux for it. So we're going to do that, and we're going to stir that until it gets thicker. So let's check on that chicken. Looks very dry, so I'm going to add in a little bit more olive oil. Okay, my chicken looks about done. Yeah, I'm going to take the chicken off of here, and then I'm going to saute the vegetables, and then we'll put it all back in. I just realized that olive oil has so much more calories in it than the butter that I'm going to be using. So instead of sauteing my vegetables with olive oil, I'm just going to saute it with butter. So this is the Country Crock butter. So, and this is only 50 calories per tablespoon. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons. That should be good. And I'm gonna saute my vegetables in that and then throw my chicken back in. I love this pan, ceramic pan. It is actually a Aldi's purchase. And a funny story about that, I went to Aldi's and I looked at it, I put it in the cart, and I was very tempted to get it. And then I'm like, no, I don't want to spend, I think it was $25. I don't want to spend $25 on a pan right now. I don't really need it. I kept thinking about it all day, and then I went back specifically to buy this because I was like, I have to have that pan. I don't know why, but I was tempted to have this pan. That was it. So I got it, and I'm so happy that I did. That's a purchase that I like don't regret. Do you guys have any purchases that you like, oh, I shouldn't have bought that, that's kind of dumb, or things that you wish that you bought and didn't, and then you're kind of kicked yourself in the butt because you're like, oh, I really wanted that? This was one of those times. So I'm going to add in all my vegetables, and I'm going to saute those until the onions get nice and translucent and soft. And I will be back when that happens. Okay, so it is time to add the vegetables back. Then I'm going to add the chicken. And lastly, we're going to add the sauce. I settled on the bigger family size of the Ben's original jasmine rice because one, it had less calories, and two, I thought I was going to make this into several different meals for the week. So this is going in the microwave. Let's mix this up and look how good it looks. Oh, I am really excited to try this. I have tried different sweet and sour recipes, and I haven't really came across one that I actually really like, but I think it's because I am so used to like the Chinese takeout, and that sweet and sour is quite different than this. So it's more sweet than it is sour. And I think that's what I am used to. So I'm really hoping that this kind of is comparable, but we'll see. So I'm just going to let that simmer for a little bit, wait for our rice to get done, and then I will be back. Alright, now that our sweet and sour chicken is done, I'm going to try some. It looks really good. It smells delicious. All right, let me get all the goodness in there. Oh my gosh. I am pleasantly surprised. I really like this recipe. All right. All right, so this is going to be my lunch. Okay, so for the calories, I have it figured out at, for the recipe as it sits, she said that it is 407 calories per serving and 20 grams of protein. I believe it's still probably 20 grams of protein, but I have it down because of the sugar and what did I change? I changed the sugar that we used on there, and I used no sugar added ketchup, and it lowered the calories down to 295.93 calories per serving, which is incredible from 400. So just by changing little things like the no sugar added ketchup and using stevia instead of regular sugar, you knocked 100 something calories off of a meal. And look at this. That's a lot of food for 295 calories. So I'm incredibly happy. This is delicious. So I encourage you to try this. I'll link it below. This is not my recipe. I just tweaked a couple things, so I will link the recipe down below. If you guys have made this recipe, I'd really like to know because it's delicious. And I want to know if you made any tweaks to it to make it even lower in calories. So if you guys enjoyed my little first cooking show in my new home, then subscribe, like, comment down below if you'd like to. Definitely subscribe because it really does help out my channel. I'm a growing channel. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. I love you. Bye!